Hey, it's the Ray. It's the Austin Collab Money Talk. We're streaming live on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Also streaming live on Facebook. It's August 23rd. The sun has came out. It was a little cloudy out there earlier, but the sun has popped out. So yeah, man, it's a great day. It's a blessed day. I'm feeling happy to be alive. Got a bit, one more round of applause for my guest, Miss Tammy Rose, came on here and just filled the room with positivity and inspiration. I really honestly feel blessed today. So thank her so much for coming on and joining me and sharing a little bit about her journey and her ministry and the things that she's doing out here in the community. Big shout out to her. So I just want to wrap up talking about a few different things. I want to talk about creating a spending plan, which I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I do want to at least give you 5 steps that you could take right now, 5 basic steps, the first steps that you should take to creating a spending plan. All right. So the first thing that you need to do before you create a spending plan is figure out how much money you have coming in every month. Whether that's from your job, whether that's from your side hustle, maybe you have rental income coming in, or maybe you got child support money coming in, or maybe you work a job where you get paid based on commissions and your money fluctuates every month. And if that's the case, if it fluctuates every month, if you're an entrepreneur or you're a salesman, your income fluctuates every month, just try to do your best to take an average of what you get on a monthly basis based over a year. But the first thing you need to do when creating a spending plan is figure out what money do you have coming in every month. That's number one. You have to know where you're at coming in every month. Step 2, you can probably guess what step 2 is that you need to figure out what money you have going out every month. So what are your expenses? What are your expenses that you have going out every month? And this is really important because a lot of people mess up on calculating their expenses. And they do that is because, let me just tell you this. The way I look at expenses there's 4 different categories. You have your fixed expenses. Those are the ones that's the same every month. Your rent, your car note, maybe your phone bill, something that's the same every month. Then you have your variable expenses. These can fluctuate. Your electric bill, the gas that you put in your car, maybe your food, or maybe you have another bill that it changes from month to month. You really it may go up or down based on the time of season or the time of year. All right. In the summer, your electric bill may be higher. So those are bills that can fluctuate. They're variable. They're not the same each month. Now, this is kind of where people start to get in trouble, is you have these miscellaneous expenses. And these are expenses that they're not your normal monthly expenses. Like, for example, getting your car inspected or your vehicle registration. That only happens once a year. Or getting your haircut or going to the hair salon. That might not be every month. That may fluctuate. Or just for example, kids just went back to school. I know a lot of parents out there went school shopping. See, when you start making your monthly budget, I bet you didn't think in August I'm going to have to go school shopping and spend whatever amount that you spend on clothes. So miscellaneous expenses are ones that happen every year, but they don't happen at any particular time. They're not necessarily monthly expenses. There are things that come up here and there. And then last is unexpected expenses. We all have experienced something unexpected, whether that's loaning money to a friend or your car breaking down, you have to get it, replacing a battery or something like that. The things that just come up out of the blue. Now, you have to do your best to try to account for those expenses if you're going to create a detailed and accurate spending plan. So that's a big one, is just figuring out exactly what your monthly expenses are. Or if they're not on a monthly basis, considering them when you do if you're doing a monthly budget, that some things may be out of place. So you have to really sit down and look at your overall expenses with a fine-tooth comb. The third thing that you need to do once you've determine what the money that you have coming in and then the money that you have going out is the obvious thing. You need to compare the two, right? You need to compare, what you have going out versus what you have coming in. Now, if you sit down and you jot this down and you write this down on your sheet of paper and you notice that at the end of each month you have more money going out than you have coming in, you're really going to need to make some adjustments. And that's what step 4 is for, making those adjustments. Okay, why did I have more money going out this month and I had more at the end of last month? What did I do? Where did that extra money go? What did I spend it on? What miscellaneous expense came up that I didn't think about? I forgot that I had to go to the doctor, or I had to get my clothes out the cleaners. I don't get my clothes out the cleaners every month, but this month I did. So finding those loopholes and filling them. And that's if you have, more bills at the end of the month than you do money. And I know some of us have been in that situation. I know I have. I'm not going to speak for everybody else. But the other scenario is you actually do have money left over. So you do have more money at the end of the month than your expenses. So what do you do with the extra money? Are you saving that? Or are you investing that? Are you paying off some debt? You need to think about what you're going to do with that excess money and keep track of each month on how much excess you have, because that could also fluctuate. So step 1, figure out what money you have coming in. Step 2, analyze your expenses and do that very thoroughly. Step 3, you need to analyze or compare the two. Step 4 is you need to make adjustments. And then the last and final step is to revisit it on an ongoing basis, monitor it, and make changes accordingly. So those are 5 simple steps that you can kind of utilize right now to create a spending plan. Again, that's 1, analyze or identify the money that you have coming in, whether that's from your investments, your regular day job, your side hustle job. Maybe you got in from child support. I don't know. I'm just throwing some different things out there, but you want to analyze the money that you have coming in each month. And if you do get a lump sum money, like say your tax return, or you hit the lottery, or you won a family member pays you back some money that they owed you, forget about. Don't just go and spend the excess money. Save that, or pay off some debt if you have any, and use that wisely. So step 3 was analyze your expenses. Step 3 was you need to compare the two. You need to see what money you have going out, you need to compare the 3 to see at the end of the month, do you have more expenses or more bills than you do money, or if you have some excess money left over. And then if you do have excess money left over, which is the point you want to get to, you want to know what to do with that money. Step 4, you need to make adjustments. And then last and finally, you need to continue to revisit your spending plan and make adjustments accordingly until you get it just right. When you fall in that sweet spot, you're like, okay, I know at the end of every month, I know I'm at least going to have $300 left over, $1,000 left over, and just to make sure that you work to get to that point. So the next thing I want to talk about, now that I've went over just a basic spending plan that you can have to get started. Now, obviously, there can be more details, more nuances in there, but I just wanted to give you at least a basic plan that you can use to get started today. So about those expenses, I came up with a list a while ago, and I actually got it in this list out of one of my ebooks that I prepared, which is on my website, theaustincollab.com. I also have an ebook right now, Retirement Planning 101, where I talk about, a lot of things regarding retirement, not just retirement or investing in your 401k, but, your lifestyle, your goals, doing hobbies, starting a business, investing in real estate. I do talk about different type of investments, even getting a dream home. So I talk about a lot of different things in there. I try to give a holistic view of retirement planning. That ebook is available on Amazon right now. If you're watching me live on Facebook, I do have the link in my status. If you're listening to me online, the Fishbowl Radio Network, FBRN.US. You can go to Amazon and just search it, Retirement Planning 101. Don't be afraid of the R word. So back to what I was going to say is I did come up with a few different tips that you can use to reduce your monthly expenses. So the first thing that you can do is get a roommate if you have a spare room, or if you're looking to relocate and you're single, you don't have a spouse or anything, look to getting a roommate to cut that rent in half. And another thing you can do if you own a home, which my girlfriend did this and her brother did this, is you can go on something called, I think it's roomster.com, but you can basically rent out your room. If you have a spare room, a guest room, rent that room out, let someone stay there and have them, pitch in on your mortgage or your rent. That'll reduce your monthly, your overall expense. Number 2, downgrade your luxuries. Some of you may not have to do that or may not want to make that sacrifice, but downgrade some of your luxuries. Once, shortly after I quit my job, I stopped taking my clothes to the cleaners because I had to downgrade that. I need this money to live off of and to funnel into my business. Or maybe you don't need that fancy iPhone. Get Metro PCS. Who's going to make that sacrifice? I don't know. So it downgrades some of your luxuries. Maybe you need to, cancel that cable. Maybe you don't need all the premium channels. Watching too much TV anyways. Pick up a book. Come on. This next one is really good. Negotiate your interest rate. Call your credit card company, your student loan people, whoever it is, and ask for a lower interest rate. I've done this before, and they literally given me a lower interest rate. So that is negotiable, especially if you've been doing a good job of paying all of your bills on time. So negotiate your interest rate. Try to get a lower interest rate. Number 4, they got a whole show on this. Clip coupons. It may take a little time, but you can save so much money by using coupons at the grocery store. I literally seen this lady on the TV show go to the grocery store and have she paid like $20 for like almost $300 worth of food. So probably took her a long time, but she did save money. Number 5 is kind of a follow-up from the clip coupons, and that's buy from the mailer. A lot of people, they send mail coupons, ads, and things in the mail with a lot of discounted things. So buy from the mailer, you may be able to save some extra dollars. Next one, buy used. You can save a lot on your monthly car payment if you buy a used car versus a new car. And the same thing with a lot of different products. Like my first iPod that I got back in college that I still use today, that I go work out with, I bought it refurbished. So you can save money in that facet. Downgrade your home or downgrade your car. That can cut down on your overall monthly expense. And this last and final one is have dinner parties or cook dinner instead of eating out. That can save you a ton of money just from going to eating out. Think about the gas, the parking, if you have to valet, if you're eating fancy, I don't know. But a lot of regular restaurants have valet as well now too. So cut down on the eating out and cook at home. Or take your lunch to work, or if you're on the weekend, have people come over, do a potluck. So those are just a few ways that you can reduce your monthly expenses. Just wanted to give you, a few different ideas that you can use. I've used some of these. Obviously, like I said, I've negotiated my interest rate. I do have a roommate now, aka my mama. So yeah, I'm just going to recap them real quick. Just a few different tips that will reduce your monthly expenses. The first one was get a roommate, or if you own a house, you can rent out your room. Downgrade your luxuries. Cut back on the premium cable. Wash your clothes instead of taking them to the cleaners. Wash your own car instead of taking them to the car wash. Negotiate your interest rate. Clip coupons or buy from the mailer. Use those coupons. Use those discounts when they're available. Buy used. Use a used car, or downgrade your nice car to, maybe a smaller car, less luxurious car. All right, or downgrade your house. Maybe you don't need that 5-story house anymore. Your kids are gone. Move into a smaller house. And then lastly, but not least, have a dinner party instead of eating out. Cook more at home. Eat healthier. All right. I know a lot of people are on this vegan/vegetarian challenge. So start preparing your foods more at home. It's healthier that way. It's healthier that way anyways. Less processed stuff. All right. Man, that's all I have for today. So thankful to be joined by my guest, Miss Tammy Rose. Shout out to her for coming in. Hey, dig this. Next week is going to be a special show as well. I'm working on getting a very talented young brother in here. Also going to be joined by one of my colleagues that I've met via social media. He's doing this thing up in Philly. Has a lot of different content he's going out. Going to do my best to get him on board next week as well. He's supposed to be on here a couple of weeks ago, but we had a few technical difficulties, so we weren't able to utilize the internet because we were going to have to go via Skype. But anyways, y'all definitely tune in next week. Thank you everyone who tuned in today. Hope y'all have an amazing Wednesday and a blessed day. And yeah, peace out. It's Oscar Lab Money Talk. Have a good one. Have a good day, everybody.